Hey, what's up? John Sonmez from SimpleProgrammer.com. So today's topic is contradictions in life. This was one of those ideas that popped in my head while I was running, doing one of my runs, and I had to fumble and find my phone, stop my audiobook, and email myself because I did not want to forget this, because I had a couple of different ideas around this concept that kept coming to me, and I think this is really important. This is interesting. I can't believe I haven't really thought of this that much before. I mean, I've connected the dots a few times here, and so what I'm talking about is this idea of contradictions in life. And what actually prompted this was when I was running, I was thinking, about how I was basically, what I was doing, right, with my life, right? I was having these contemplating moments, and I was like, it's kind of interesting because, I go back and forth, right? Sometimes I'm like, should I just am I wasting my life because I'm working so hard right now? Like, I'm working out, like I was running, I'm running 10 miles. I'm thinking, why the fuck am I running 10 miles right now? This doesn't make any sense, right? And I'm in the gym 2 hours, and I'm eating one meal a day, and I'm working hard at Simple Programmer. I'm making, running the business, making videos, doing all this stuff, writing a new book. Why am I doing all this stuff when technically I'm retired? Technically, right, I did reach my goal, right? I got enough passive income to retire, not trying to brag or anything, but I reached my goal, right? It was able to retire young, and so why am I doing all this stuff? And then I realized, right, this is where this idea came from, was that, I thought, okay, well, let me ask you this question, right? What would you do if you were in my situation? What would you do if you had reached the point in your life where you could retire, young, let's say, or what would you do? And if the answer is that you would, just take a vacation and enjoy a leisurely life and take advantage of the situation and maybe like have a lot of fun, play video games, relax, chill out every day, drink Mai Tais on the beach, whatever it is, then ironically, or I guess it's more ironic than a contradiction, but ironically, you will not succeed. It will never happen for you. You will never reach that level. And so I was thinking about it, and again, I'm not saying this to brag at all. It's just a fact of life, and there's so many of these, and I'll point to a bunch of them, but this was the one that triggered it, so I thought I would bring this one up first. But essentially, and I internalized this, I thought to myself, if I was the kind of person that wasn't driven like I am to do what I'm doing, even though I don't have to do it anymore, even though it's kind of crazy at this point, like most people would be, say, John, what are you doing? Like, just, you don't even need to make money. Like, just chill out. just chill in Netflix, right, dude? Like you don't even watch any movies or TV. Like, what are you doing? Just go have fun, man. Have a couple of beers. Like, chill the fuck out, right? That's what most people would say to me or would say to me. And what I realized was that if I were the kind of person that would do that upon reaching my goal and, quote, retiring, then I would also be the kind of person that would never have reached that success to be able to retire in the first place, right? So it's sort of ironic, right? You can't enjoy it because if you were the kind of person that could enjoy it, that could relax, you couldn't achieve it. So there's a lot of these ironies. It's kind of funny, right? So let's talk about, that one may not be so obvious. And some of you are like, bullshit, John. Like, if I got there, I would totally just chill out. You're crazy. But I would, I'm not trying to insult you, but I would say, and that's why you're not there. And that's why if you continue to have that mentality, I promise you will not get there. You won't. You won't get there. And so, again, I'll give some other examples. But so let's talk about here's a classic one that I think a lot of people are familiar with, right? Okay, suppose you need a loan. Can you get a loan? No. When can you get a loan? When you don't need a loan. See the irony, the contradictory nature of that? let's say there's a lot of these, right? Okay, for you guys out there, right? If you're interested, check out my video on my series on becoming more of a man and getting girls, the program, so aptly named. But if you quote are like have to get this girl, right? Let's say I did this video on putting women on a pedestal, right? That's a good situation. If you act that way, if you feel this way, you need to get this one particular girl, or you need to get a girlfriend. Will you succeed? No, you are going to fail, right? It's only when you don't care, right? When you don't have one particular girl that you're pining after, when you don't care, or when you don't care in general, when you're just being yourself, then you have no problem. You have no problem getting it, right? So there's a whole bunch of these for you guys. Again, we delve into some sensitive topics here. I did this video you can check out on porn and masturbation. Oh man, some people get so uncomfortable about this. But for you guys that are trying to quit that, right? You're trying to not be addicted to pornography or masturbation. The irony of that one is that if you quit, you will quit having the desire to do it, right? So there's some irony there. So because you're doing it and you're participating, you're into the pornography realm, you feel the desire to do it. But the catch-22, the irony of the situation is if you weren't involved in that, if you broke away from it, you would lose that desire. I know, right? I can speak from experience on that one. I don't hold anything back here, right? So anyway, there's a bunch of these things, right? So you'll find many of these. I'm trying to think of a few more here off the top of my head. I know that some of you probably have some good examples, so leave some comments below of these ironic, because it's not really contradictions. They're ironies, right? They're situations, it's like to quote the Bible, right? To him who has more will be given unto him, and to he who has little, even what he has will be taken from him, right? This is so many people read that and they don't get that, but it's such deep wisdom because that's how life works, right? The more you have, the more you get. When you don't need something, it's easy to get it. When you need something, when you're desperate, right? When in these type of situations, you can't get it. You can't get that loan, right? So this is there's some lesson in this, right? In your life that you can really get from this, which is to not grasp after things, to realize that if you hold things too tightly, if you're chasing things too tightly, if you're forcing your way, right? If you're not going with the flow, you're gonna be fighting these uphill battles all the time, and you're gonna be struggling. But if you can let things go, if you can not pine so much for the thing you want, if you cannot try so hard, and it's not trying hard. What it is it's being dependent on the outcome. It's desiring the outcome so much, right? If you can go with the flow instead and say what happens in life, right? Be it good or bad, it happens, right? If you can think from that perspective, you get out of these ironic traps, or you're able to master them, right? If you want something so bad, you're not going to be able to get it. It's going to be out of reach. The more that you want it, the more that you chase it, the further out of reach it is, right? So, whether that be with wealth, whether it be with women, whether it be with getting a bank loan, right? Or whatever example you can think of, whether it be with breaking an addiction, right? That's the catalyst. The thing that it's going to drive it is going to be your want for it. You're chasing after it, pushes it away, makes it out of reach, out of bounds for you, and that's the irony on it. And as soon as you let go, as soon as you relax back into yourself, as soon as you're grounded, as soon as you don't chase, don't pine after the thing if you just let it flow, right? Doesn't mean you're not working hard, right? And again, I don't want to make that confusion, right? Sometimes you got to push, sometimes you got to drive, but you do it in such a way that you're disconnected from the outcome, right? I did this video on results, on not being results driven, on letting the results happen, right? Trusting the process. I talk about this a lot, but it's going with the flow. It's that disconnect that allows you the letting go, that allows you to suddenly have that abundance, right? And again, the irony of it is that you may not enjoy it as much, right? I mean, you can never get what you want, right? Because you want it too bad. But at the same time, right, there's another irony that's working for you, which is that you don't need it so bad, right? If you're content and you're happy and you're a little bit detached, you're not so attached to the outcome, and you're okay with what happens, right? You're cool, right? You're the guy at the club. That's cool. That's just like, I'm here to have a good time. As a result, he's having a good time, and he's able to accomplish the one thing that you wish you could do at the club, but it's no problem for him, right? That's how it goes. That's the irony of the situation. So, I know some of you, again, I know the psychology. I know about grabbing and holding on to things too tight, wanting them so bad, and you just have to realize that that's what's going to make it impossible for you to get it, right? That the harder that you push, the harder you squeeze that thing, the more you must have it, the less likely it'll be. But the more you let go, the more you relax into it, the less that you'll care about having it. Genuinely, you can't fake this, but then you'll get that and more and other things that you didn't even think about. So anyway, that's it for this video. If you like this video, if you have a comment, some more ironies in life, leave the comment below and subscribe to the channel. I'll talk to you next time. Take care.